Hi, YouTube. I hope you're doing good. I'm doing okay, not too bad. I'm having actually a really great day. So far, so good. There's probably going to be a little bit of noise. Doug's working on different things. You might hear him like cutting pieces of metal or wood or grinding or whatever. He's got a lot of projects that he doesn't know where he wants to start first, so um, or we might hear the compressor running or whatever. It won't be too noisy. It'll just be probably little strange increments of maybe hammering or who knows. He found me this shirt. I love striped things. I was an orphan, and there was when I was a kid, some of the classic literature I read was, well, I liked I loved Greek mythology, but the Olympiads and that type of thing. But I loved, uh, oh, I can't remember who wrote it. I was looking at books last night too, but The Adventures of Pippi Longstocking. She wasn't actually a orphan, but her father was a sailor and he was gone on the seas most of the time. This little girl like basically raised herself. She had like a pet monkey and different animals that were her friends, but she dressed herself too. She would take her braids, if some of you know, she had red hair, and would wear like striped socks and all kinds of weird things. And she would take her two braids and she'd loop it up like this and put a bow in it. So just a really strange kid. But oh man, those adventures, they take you away into like another world, reminds me too, because I was looking at classic literature for my grandkids last night. Um, that might be one to look into. I don't know. I think I kind of got what I want to get them picked out. I'm going to get them each a set of books. So, like for the three girls in the one family, then they'll have all kinds of books to read, all kinds of stuff if the power goes out and there's nothing, or their mom reads to them often. So it's like, well, then there'll be something new and fresh. But I think too, if like in the middle of the winter and the snow comes in where they live and the power goes out or whatever, they can always just light a candle and um, do some reading or use a flashlight, whatever. I'm sure they have that that type of stuff. Maybe they don't. I'll have to check if they have some way to read if the power goes out. So it'll keep them busy. But yeah, I'm I think that's gonna be what I get them. I'm not for certain, but I'm pretty sure. I know I would have loved it myself if one of my grandparents, I mean, I had people buy me books before, and I always liked it, so I'm hoping that'll be a good thing, because I've sent them other things, but oh, did I? Yeah, I did. I think I sent my middle granddaughter a book. In fact, I know I did. Can't remember what one it was, so it's been a while. So anyway, just kind of hanging out with you today. I'm just waiting. What's on my agenda today is just cutting up a bunch of vegetables that Doug brought home from the Amish. So I've got like cucumbers. I'm gonna make a cucumber salad and lettuce and a whole bunch of different stuff. So we're just gonna have like salad stuff for supper later on. But yeah, they do have some of the best produce around, you know. Yeah. But yeah, maybe I'll pull some. I was thinking of making like a chicken salad, or I'm not sure. Not sure what I'm gonna do with it. But yeah, the cucumber salad for sure, as a separate thing with the onions and the mayo and that type of thing. Little vinegar in there and whatever. You know, if you have sour cream, which I don't, but I can make some. I might do that. Yes, as a matter of fact, because you can just take cream, heavy cream, and I can put it in my bowl first. Here I'm talking cooking with you. Um, I might get somewhere else. I do have a little something planned for, bit here, but to share with you. But yeah, you can take heavy whipping cream and any kind of acid like vinegar or lemon juice and that type of thing, and put it into your cream, and it will coagulate, and then you can make your own sour cream. I did that a few weeks ago. I had made some kind of nachos or something like that, and I didn't have sour cream, so I just made some. Yeah, but as they use citric acid um, in most of the stuff that you buy in the store, it's been pasteurized, and it'll say probably say like salt and citric acid in it and that type of thing. So yeah, same same type of stuff. I've been looking for long striped socks. I have some that aren't really long. I've got some short ones and some medium ones, and I found some really cool like multicolor long ones to wear with like shorts or a skirt or combat boots or really like with a dress and that type of thing. But all I could find was those they're compression socks. So I'm gonna read you. I had found a really cool something I don't think I knew. I might have heard it when I was younger because I had read so much, but this is super interesting. I found it interesting. I'll read something to you in a minute here. Let's see. Gotta pull it up. It's on my Facebook. It's got a picture of a native woman. She's got her baby up in the tree on its what do you call it? Well, you put the papoose on that board and they would carry him, and there's a name for that board. Maybe it'll be in this. It's a little article, actually. Okay, wait. The origins. It's from Native American Pride on Facebook. The origins of the Americans' favorite nursery rhyme. Davy Crockett's older sister, um, let me see, Effie Crockett, was invited to help some mothers in the Muskogee tribe. Once she arrived in the camp, Effie laughed at what she saw. The Muskogee tribe had a custom of cradling their papooses among the swaying branches of birch trees. This protected their babies from ground insects, the sun, and wild animals. After finding it funny, she soon learned the great reasons for this practice and marveled at the beauty of it. Effie watched the swaying and soothing motion of the topmost branches of the trees. She loved how each baby enjoyed nature, how they listened to the songbirds, um, observed every ladybug, and smiled at the colors of the butterfly. Every little breeze was felt and enjoyed by these young ones. Each babe seemed perfectly content. Okay, there's more. Just wait. One of the tribal mothers began to sing a song to the children in her native tongue. As the Muskogee mother sang, Miss Effie observed the small tear running down the mother's cheek. Lulu si pepe, I e pito, I luga o li la la. Okay, wait. Uh, Ajili mate e lulu a na nani mosigi pepi. Uh, Galu lala I pa yu ali moge pepi ma o la se I la lo pepi moga pepi ma mesa uma. Effie translated the words and kept the tune. She shared it with everyone, and soon it became wildly a wildly popular nursery rhyme among the colonials. The English translation: Rock-a-bye baby in the treetop, when the wind blows, the cradle will rock. When the bough breaks, the cradle will fall, and down will come baby, cradle and all. Why did the Muskogee mother cry? A bog is simply a tree branch, and its breaking was used by the Muskogee mothers as an analogy of their little baby growing up. The little baby would soon outgrow his cradle. With each gentle rocking wind, time was passing. One day the little baby no longer one day the little baby would no longer need the protection of mother. One day the branch would break and the baby had become too heavy. Break because her baby had become too heavy. The cradle would fall to the earth. The child would the child, no longer a baby, would dust himself off, grow into a man. Now, oh, the now famous lullaby was first printed in Mother Goose's Melodies. The rest is history. Isn't that interesting that our most famous rockabye baby song that I sang to my kids, I always thought it was kind of morbid, and I couldn't figure out why people would when the bow broke and the cradle would fall. I was thinking that's just downright sick. You know, without knowing the history behind the song, it seemed like another English morbid nursery rhyme, like London Bridges falling down is really dark, and mulberry bush is dark. I mean, there's so many things that I had um, either read or had read to me when I was little that were like Masonic bedtime stories or nursery rhymes in collections of books that were like really strange. And I just thought that was just another one of them things, you know. It's like, okay. So, yeah, I think that's interesting. Muskogee is not my native language, and I'm really not fluent in any Native American language. The closest I would come is Ojibwe, Lakota, a little bit of Crow. Um, and that's about it. And they're not all the same, but they do have commonalities. You know, it's just like really strange. The Lakota Sioux people or Dakota, same tribes have words in common with Japanese people off the an island, and same words. I can't think of the ones offhand that are, but they are. Take my word for it. Strange, right? So, yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. Excuse me. So, yeah, I always thought it was kind of weird. I mean, I can understand having to walk with your baby and having it on your back maybe. And you know, now they have ones where you can like put the baby in the front. um they find that it's more like ergonomically better for your back to carry your baby in the front like a mother would carry the baby, you know, in them little huggy things with straps. And I always thought the baby'd be a little vulnerable back there, you know, how they carry them. Then on the other hand, if your hands are full and you're busy and your child's with you like that, that's pretty cool because we all know, or some of us know, that even pushing like a stroller is super hard. It really is. It just is. I tried that. Those are ridiculous for the most part. So, cheers, everybody. Of course, it would help if I hadn't have been trying to push it down a dirt road. I imagine that it would have it did work better on the pavement. Yeah, I had a rough day one day. It was really bad. I had to get into town and take my one that was walking, and I was pregnant, but I did put him in. I put him in the stroller, but I couldn't really even push it the whole way like that. Man, that day was hell. I was even afraid to even hitchhike. I didn't have a vehicle. I was out in the country alone. But this one guy, I think he understood that I was like afraid out in the middle of nowhere. But he did stop when I was on my way home. I was praying. I was just about in tears. I had to make a phone call and to help my life go around, and I didn't have a choice in what I was doing that day. And I got helped. But yeah, it was scary. You know, you never know. Especially being pregnant and having a little one with you. You know, I wasn't going to put my thumb out, you know. But anyway. So, yes, I had a husband, if that's what you wanted to call that thing. And that's one of the reasons, just one of the many, why he is no longer my husband. So, anyway, yeah, I'm cool with it. It isn't a sad story. It's a horror story, but not. Yeah, it's sort of sad. More sad for the kids than it was for me. So, I was listening to a Dr. Sam Vacton yesterday. Had a good thing I shared. about Stockholm syndrome and children that grew up with like a really abusive parent and the good parent, and how they'll like side with the abusive parent. Just it's almost like they're almost, it's like just ingrained in their reactions on what they would do, you know. And let's see if I can find this really quick. It was really interesting. Um, Maybe I can find it. Yeah, it's called When Your Child Gangs Up on You. Stockholm Syndrome in Abused Children. Moral Defense. And he was talking about how this would happen with the kids, you know, seeking the love out of somebody they really um, that didn't express that in a healthy way to them, and that would even include all kinds of abuses with those kids, and how they would kind of turn on the good parent, especially if that parent didn't protect them or even try to protect them. I did a little more than that, so some of you know what I did. Uh, just real quick, I um, saw my oldest son was only 9 get hit in the head so hard he hit the ground, and I waited till um, the jerk was sleeping and stomped his leg with a judo stomp and broke it on his thigh, and threw some clothes in a suitcase and threw them out the door, threw my car keys, the only car that I had, out at him, and told him to never come back. It was my house that I was working and paying for while he was doing the things he did that retards do in life. Normal parents don't do those type of things, and that's how I defended my children. So anyway, and I was afraid this fucker's a monster. I put knives in the doors. I was all prepared. I was thinking about taking him out completely. I'd look at like my knife drawer or whatever, and I'm thinking, no, 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 no. I can't do that. I mean, I want to, but my kids need me. Really, if I hadn't had kids, of course, I wouldn't have been so, probably so vicious in my reactions, because, like, it was like maybe the day before that, he was doing some really bad things in front of the kids, and I kicked him in the sink backwards, judo kicks across the kitchen, got him, and I jumped on his neck, and I told him I can kill you. And then when I started feeling like that, I started thinking I better just do something to make it a permanent separation, because I had offered this person his own room, and just don't do this around the kids, don't do that, and we can live compatible and everything will be cool. I was going to move the kids into one room and give them his own. They had bunk beds. I could have stacked them back up, and but that wasn't good enough for his retarded ass, so I had to take extreme measures in protecting my kids. So I wouldn't suggest, if you're not a warrior, if you're not a skilled martial artist and you are living with a retard, I wouldn't suggest and I could not call the police, because the times that I ever even tried to get them involved in anything, it doesn't always work out that way. Sometimes they take both the parents, and your children end up in social services, and then they're wards of the state, and you can't protect them. I know. I've been one. So I wasn't going to go that route. I tried. It didn't work out. So, yeah. I was so frazzled one time trying to talk to a cop, and I was being abused. And I was sitting out on my step. I just didn't want any more of the crap. I was trying to be quiet, and the cops came. And it wasn't because of me. And I told him, I said, why don't you just pull your 357 out and shoot me? I got a ticket, a $600 ticket for saying that to a cop, you know? Yeah, it wasn't the best thing to say, but if he had gone through what I had been through, sleepless nights, working, taking care of my home and my children and everything all by myself, just to have a bunch of nonsense happen. At that point, when that happened, I could hardly even believe it because I was shocked from being abused and having the cops come and blame me for the whole thing, basically, because this piece of shit literally crawled down the hallway on his hands and knees and went and got in his bed when he saw the cops coming and didn't even come to the door in any kind of defense or anything because he started it, you know. So it probably was intentional. He probably wanted me to get radical with those cops, and I sort of did in a little way. Did I learn a lesson? Yeah, I learned a lesson. Yeah. Um, you can't always trust the police because they don't know what's going on. And there's another time, um, my son and his dad, when he was older, a man, they're both men, had an altercation, and the asshole had started it on my property. He was asked to leave and he wouldn't. And Doug wasn't home, but I called him and he was on his way home. And by the time that happened, and Luke actually drew blood on his dad, like I said, he didn't start it. This creep tried to hug me, and it pissed Luke off because he had remarried another woman named Barb. He had no business trying to even hug me. I said, don't touch me, you know, and it just escalated from there. My son got blamed for it. Um, yeah, and was wanted by the cops. He ran off into the woods. Long story, but the piece of shit actually brought my youngest home, teenager, drunk, and so things weren't so pretty when all this was happening. And I actually went out into the woods and I was being rained on. I called the cops. When I called the cops, the asshole encountered this woman cop first and um, posed himself as the victim, and nothing I said after that mattered, you know. So totally evil. That's a fact. There's nothing I could do in a normal human relationship with that would have made anything normal in our lives. Nothing. Even the history, I should have even known from their family history of brutalization, incest, mental illness, all of it. And I thought I could fix a ragged dog, you know, but it doesn't always work like that. So, wasn't like that when I met him. He didn't appear to be like that right away, you know. So, so yeah, life's been a trip. I didn't like really have anything too much to jabber about today. Just I don't know if that was reminiscing or what the that was. But anyway, a little background for some of you if you aren't aware of some of my struggles in life. I've been with Doug for 35 years now, but I spent a decade in hell. Um, yeah, or thereabouts, before. So Doug seemed mild compared to that. But if you get to know his brain, if you're on the bad side of Doug's brain, that's not a good place to be. Well, that's all I got to say. I mean, I'm not worried about it, but physically or mentally, I really don't have a problem with people either way when it comes right down to it. But I am getting a little old to be beat on, you know. I think everybody's too old for that, actually. But when an adult injures a child, there's no punishment severe enough, whether it's brutalization, verbal abuse, sexual abuse, whatever it is. These monsters like that deserve every bad thing that they could possibly acquire on this planet. If I could help give it to them, I would. That's how I feel. That's why I do everything I do is for the next generations, the younger people. You people out here feeling the same way I am about different things that are going on in the world, and you feel like your hands are tied because you have all these creeps out there that are affiliated in organizations that, I mean, it never would have happened, that type of control in the world, if people didn't have good hearts, because they would have expected the filth out of the ones that are filthy like that. But good people don't expect that. It's not like you wake up one day and you say, "Oh, well, these people are evil," and I have a deep understanding of that. You really just don't. Unless you are one, then you're fully aware of what you're doing. I don't buy this, they know not what they do. They may not understand what's going to happen later, but while they're doing it and when they plan it, they know full well what they're doing. But yeah, the part where they know not what they do, mm, yes and no. They do. They don't understand the consequences of their actions, but they do know that there will be some if it can be applied. They know that. When somebody's acting shady to you, they know what they're doing. So, well, I'm going to get this uploaded. I love you all. Thank you for being here. New people, hope I can bring some kind of information, entertainment, company to you, friendship. Um, I'm your go-to lady for that type of thing, I hope. So, peace and love from Pine City, Minnesota, USA. Have a good night or day wherever you're at.